This year, the success is going to come from only these two things: boldness and grit. Having understood who we are and the talent we have and the information what we can share, we have to fly through this year with these two engines which are going to fire at all full blast. The boldness is going to take us into spaces where nobody has gone, or makes us be the first, or gets us to a place before anybody else does. And the grit is going to fuel that so that we stay there, we stay put till we get it. So the year of the bold and grit has begun. This year, for us to be successful, we have to fly with two strong attributes or engines which are going to fly us past this year to achieve our success and achieve whatever we need to get at. And that is boldness and grit. Boldness, we all know, it's our ability to look at the positive of our efforts, look at the positive of our ideas and try and implement it. And we learn as we implement it. That's the boldness. Nothing is stopping us, nothing is on the pessimistic side. Most of the things which we are trying to engineer and encourage is going to be on the presumption that this is good and it is going to be helpful. And we understand it that way. The presumption is because it's still not been laid out and we don't know how the feedback is going to be. But we do expect that this is going to be good. Believing that this is going to be good is the start of our implementation or our engagement or a process. This is going to be very critical. And many people fail at this place. Because most of us, before we start something, we look for reassurances, we look for somebody to validate what we're doing. And with all that in mind, we still have self-doubt sometimes. And then when we engage in a checked manner. We don't engage in the way we think it naturally should be. We kind of check ourselves every step we go by. Grit is understood largely as passion and perseverance, or a combination of these two. But I believe grit is more of perseverance fueled by passion. Now, passion comes from what you think is right and what you think is good. It starts from there. So if you think something is good or you have a solution which you think is right for the society, that could even change as you go forward, because whatever you think at one point in time is with the limited information and knowledge you have. So as you go forward in life, as you acquire more information and resources, there is a very good chance that you might think otherwise. So grit comes in handy. Very important is when this passion stays alive. And how does this passion stay alive? Is when you know that what you're doing is right. And it's not the first instance that you found out that there's something good that you want to pursue, because it changes, it grows over, it matures. Anything which is going to be successful in life and gets implemented and affects the goodness of the society is a matured idea or a matured product or a service, because it has to encompass the vast diversity of the society. When it's welcomed by the vast diversity, only then something gets successful. And we are all units of society, so we don't have that kind of diversity. Something might spark off as a solution or as a service to the society, but then as we grow inwards towards it, we know that we need to have more, or we need to make it more diverse, or we need to build in more resources, or we need to bring in more angles so that it delivers the idea or it delivers the required result. So passion is very important, but it can die out if your idea is a wrong one, or if your idea is an immature one, or if your idea is not strong enough to accommodate the changes required to make it happen. And for that, the most important thing for you to hold on is grit. It is the perseverance of the idea, not the solution, of the idea. Because the idea has to build in such a way that it is going to offer a solution. We all know that passion stems from within. So the passion to be strong and powerful and pure, it invariably means that you have to be someone who is aware of what is happening around you and who is aware of yourself and who understands the society around you. In whatever limited manner you would know, but you know it truthfully. Because you cannot fake passion. It is something which is generated within you as energy, and that energy builds up an excuse to go out, and that excuse is the reason you want to execute, and that reason is the solution. And whatever that desire is for that energy to come out, to make money or to deliver some kind of a solution or to develop some kind of panacea for the rest of the people or the society, everything is generated within. So the kind of person you are develops the kind of passion, and that passion develops the idea, and that idea could be anything, a good one or a bad one. And making money or fame is not the ultimate truth of being successful. It's a recognition of an act. So making money does not mean that you could only do it lawfully or morally or ethically or what is to be done in the right way. The same thing can be achieved in doing so many other ways, which most people do. So when you focus on the end result, there is a very good chance the means could be completely wrong. We approach 2021 and crush it with these two strong attributes. One is boldness, another one is grit. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses. Understanding them and putting our strengths forward and making it even more stronger or negating our weaknesses is going to put us in a good place to start with. Since this year is completely being rewritten, the markets are rewritten, the environments are rewritten, so everything is exposed for a change. So we have to take advantage of that and start building our own parameters the way we see fit, because these are going to be the norms which we could lay forward without much challenges. The most important thing for us is to know that we should enter, or we would be entering into spaces which are not charted now or semi-charted, because some things stay and many things are broken. So the people who can innovate, the people who can think, people who know what they're good at can reshape, reinvent and present themselves in a very nice and a positive manner so that they can not just help the clients and the society but better their own lives. For that, we need to be bold. We need to come out of our shell. We need to stop looking at affirmations from somebody else. We need to start believing in ourselves. Believing in ourselves itself is one act of being bold. Because every time you try and do something, you look at some kind of a confirmation or some kind of validation from somebody else, your friends maybe, your colleagues or your peers somewhere. That has to stop. Because most of what you know, you have to reassess it. The sooner you do it, the better. It's nice to talk about what you're going to deliver or what you want, what you're planning to do, but to double check, triple check, and then getting in doubt and taking too much of feedback from everyone and falling prey to certain things which kind of break your passion or to some extent even weaken your resolve of what you want to do could be the detrimental thing which could hurt you this year. And most of us have not succeeded in life because we have relied on somebody else's validation. Or, in other words, a self-doubt. Now that has to go. The best way to beat self-doubt is to be bold. And I'm not saying being bold has all positive consequences to it. There are going to be certain fallouts. But if you're true to yourself and you're willing to go that extra mile and do what is required for you to do, then being bold is being frank. And being frank is being truthful. And being truthful simply means that you're putting 100%. So whatever goes wrong is only a teaching, a lesson, or an information which you get about what you missed out. Now that only has to be the focus for you to charge forward. Now you can't keep charging forward all the time. That is when grit comes in handy. Believe in what you think is right. Make necessary changes so that whatever you thought can still be implemented or corrected or shaped well for the society or for your client or anything that you are targeting for. So learn as you go, that's okay. But be bold. Never doubt. Check for sure. Take feedback for sure. But never doubt. Because every idea stems out of your passion. And passion is what? It's energy within you. Now, whatever you're shaping could change a bit here and there, could improve or even mature. That's what I mean by change. That you're not making it to some other thing completely. It would be a good idea, but for the idea to be implemented in the practicality of this world, it might need certain changes or what we call maturity. It has to mature for the world. Now that comes to you from feedback. That comes to you from when you implement it slowly. And you see the changes required, or you see that your idea is not getting the traction you wanted it to, or your product is not selling the way you wanted it to, or your service is not being as effective as you wanted it to. So instead of giving up, which most of us do, we need to stay put. This year is about that. This year is about believing what we know, trying to deliver it, and stick by it. This year is all going to be about our boldness and about our grit. It's wisely said. The doors will open to those who are bold enough to knock. And when they don't have the grit and perseverance to knock till it opens. That is going to be the essence of 2021. Be bold and be grateful. I am Raj Khan, and this is my enterprise.